Uh-oh.
Hello, how's everybody doing? We are here live at PresCon, and I have a couple of people with us. We have Wes, all the way
Hey.
over there on the end, and of course I'm Ryan. And then right next to me we have Hermann Luttmann.
Hey, everybody.
And we promised you streaming with Herman today, and we thought maybe we can take a look at some things today. Maybe we can take a look at a little bit of A Forlorn Hope, maybe get a feel for how the game works a little bit. We're a little bit limited here as regards our camera and the way that works, but we'll go with it. If you have any questions or you want to ask us anything, feel free and put it in the chat, and I'll try to get that up, and we can take a look at that and answer the questions. If you have a question for Herman, just put it up in the chat, and we'll try to answer it as best as possible. So, Forlorn Hope. You want to tell us a little bit about the game, first of all?
Sure. This is a push your luck game of World War I trench combat. This was the original idea for In Magnificent Style, and which never happened. Actually, In Magnificent Style was about Pickett's Charge. This was the original concept, and Ryan and Wes were nice enough to let me do it the way I originally wanted to do it. So the basic idea is that you have 3 battalions of troops on your side here. You're going to push your luck, try to get across no man's land, take the enemy positions, depending on the scenario. This scenario in particular, you're just trying to capture enemy trenches. There are other scenarios where you try to do other things. Basic concept of the game is you're going to draw these activation cards, one more than the number of battalions that you have available. And you're going to assign these cards to each battalion as you choose, and then activate the units per the cards you've assigned. These cards will give you cohesion loss. There you go, if you can see it. So we have these this concept of cohesion, which has cohesion cubes, and you don't want to lose all of these.
Cohesion cubes. Little cubes.
They will give you hits on each of your battalions. You have 3 battalions, like I said, and each has, I don't know what we're calling these, hit boards.
Yeah, we're gonna have hit boards, and we're gonna do them as one of the stretch goals that open up is they're gonna be dual layered.
Mm-hmm.
So the little hit cube will fit right into the spot and never get lost because you'll be able to hold it within the dual layer of the board.
Right. And then the bottom of the card will tell you how you can maneuver the units, each of these stands, in a particular battalion. There may be other conditions too, depending on their circumstance on the board. But the basic idea is you're playing these cards, you're trying to move your troops, I don't know if you can see that, across the board at the enemy. Basic idea is on the push your luck aspect is you're trying to get these guys as far.
There's a rat in the way.
There is a rat in the way.
Okay, let's get the rats out of the way so you can actually get your troops up there. Otherwise, that was a giant rat to face off against.
I hate when that happens.
Try to get these guys as far as possible and then have to make the decision on when you're going to hunker them down to protect them, or if you're going to push your luck and keep going as far as you can in a stretch. What's going to happen to you? Well, these cards, not only are activation cards, but they're going to produce events. If you get an event, which Ryan's going to show you right now, there you go. You're going to have to draw an event card. And these are only prototype event cards. But let's see if I can tell you here. So like say, if you draw this here, it's a creeping barrage, and it will tell you where the artillery falls on the board. And if your men happen to be in that area, they're going to get hit. And you're going to roll some dice and find out exactly what happens to them. But the men are vulnerable while they're not hunkered down. And that's the idea is you only have a certain number of turns to get the mission accomplished. So you're constantly trying to push your men, deciding when to hunker down to protect them, move on to the next turn, push them again, and hopefully you don't run out of time or men.
There's a nice little mechanic too for when you hunker them down, and that you want to keep them in a wave. Right. This is pretty cool.
So as you maneuver your men across, I'll do this so you can see it. You'll want to try to keep them all together as much as possible so that you can form a nice long wave of men. This is a concept from World War I assault trench combat. And if you can end a turn with these men in a line of adjacency, now some scenarios you'll have to keep them exactly adjacent orthogonally. Some scenarios allow you a little more flexibility. You can do it diagonally and orthogonally. But the longer this line is, the more tactics chits you get. These are tactics chits. And what they do is they have little bonuses on them for gameplay. So you can utilize these to mitigate your luck, do some special maneuvering, have special combat abilities, that kind of thing. So you want as many of those as possible.
Now you start the game with some of them. Like in this scenario, you start with 3 of them, 1 per battalion. But in this particular case, if you had all 9 in a row like that, how many would you get?
Well, so the way the wave works is you count up the number of stands that are adjacent to one another. So
the longest wave.
Right. So let's say in Ryan's example, you'd get 9 chits. And because this wave extends across all 3 battalions, you get to keep 3 of them.
Okay.
So if the wave were only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'd get to pick 5 chits and keep 2 because it only extends across 2 battalions.
Gotcha. Now, what happens, like you were saying, you have to choose to hunker down your men to kind of protect them. What happens if you don't hunker your men down? Is there going to be any sort of penalty to that?
Right. So you might be trying to push your luck here and having these guys extend themselves across.
Fix that a little bit.
What do you want?
I'm going to get on the board now.
Right. So these guys out here might get hit by machine gun fire or artillery fire or sniper fire or a counterattack. They can be either forced to hunker down, which means the game's going to tell you to push them back and they must hunker down, so you have no choice in the matter. Or worst result is to have them pinned. So if they're pinned, they're done for the turn. The bad thing is that when they start the following turn, they start shaking, meaning it's harder to get them to go moving again. You need special cards to actually get them going.
Gotcha. Now, you had talked a little bit about, we have these dice, these cubes, cohesion cubes. Now, what are they for?
So depending on the scenario, again, you start off with a number of these cubes. So let's say in most scenarios, you might have, let's say, 5 cubes.
Okay.
As you play activation cards, you lose these cubes.
Okay.
If you run out of these cubes, you have a cohesion loss, catastrophic cohesion loss. So everything stops for you. Any troops that are not hunkered down are immediately pinned.
Gotcha.
All right. So you're trying to measure how many cubes you have left. You want to hunker down so that you don't get caught with no cubes. The odd thing, as you play this game, you'll find out that one of the worst things you want to do is end your turn and have 1 cube left. Because then you're going to start the next turn all fresh and everything, but you only have 1 cube's worth of cohesion to lose. That's quite difficult to get through.
And when you re-up the supply of cohesion for the next turn, you get fewer than you started with. So it gets harder and harder.
Right. So you might come back with only 3. If you lose these 3s, you come back with only 2. And trying to survive a turn with only 2 cohesion cubes is a tough task.
Another thing I like about this game, before we show in the combat, is the officers. You have an officer for each battalion, plus a commander-in-chief, and they have special abilities like tactics chits to help you out in dire situations, but you use them up.
And if you use it, you just flip over to used, and you're done for the turn using this guy. So you have to, I can warn everybody who's watching tonight is going to get an inside tip.
Well,
Don't forget to use your officers. I always forget to use my officers. Make sure you use them. Otherwise, you lose.
But wait a second. This guy's named Rowan Blackadder.
Yeah, I was going to say,
what is that about?
Why don't you tell us the names of the officers that happen to be?
You mean these particular officers that are here?
There's other ones in the game.
Well, there's Lieutenant Colonel Rowan Blackadder, Lieutenant Colonel Nigel Mustard, and Major George St. Barley.
Wait, what's that guy's name?
Our commander is Sir Benjamin Hill. For you old farts out there, we'll get the joke immediately.
I think I had the right music for that.
That's right.
So anyway, have you played any of our Herman's games where he gets to name people? Yeah, you can pretty much count on some humor in there.
Got to be.
You want to show them how what happens when you finally reach the enemy?
Sure. So let's say you're very skilled and you've done a wonderful job and your men actually get this far. If they jump into this enemy trench over here, you'll move this here. You don't have to have standees up on the enemy, but we like it because it looks cool. There are face down markers over here, and you don't know what these markers consist of.
How strong they are.
So you're going to flip them over.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Well, I've picked, where is it?
Right there.
A 4. So the enemy in this trench is very strong. 4 means they're going to roll 4 combat dice. These gorgeous looking multicolored combat dice. In this particular example I have here, we're going to roll 1 die for our troop that went into the trench. Anyway, look at this. We got another guy supporting our guy.
Because he's right next to it.
He's right next to it, Jason, diagonally or orthogonally, and we're going to get 2 dice. So when you play, you very simply, defenders roll 4 dice, and you're going to.
What did you add up to?
And you add up the numbers.
Ooh, he rolled
which
a 4,
I rolled an
3,
amazing
a 3, and a 1.
11.
11?
Yeah, you.
And I only get 2 dice as the attackers. Let's see what they add up to.
You roll an 8.
An 8. That was pretty
wow,
good.
that was pretty amazing, actually.
That is. But
All right.
11 minus 8 is 3. What does that mean?
Well, that means we lose. We don't lose as badly as we could have lost.
Yes.
So, very simply, you have to use up those 3 losses either as retreats or hits. You must retreat at least 1. So there's one of them. So you got 2 more losses to take. I can look at my board over here, and if I don't have a lot of casualties, I might take 2 casualties and leave my guys there. Or if I have a lot of casualties, I'll retreat them another 2, perhaps. They will stay there, and then they will be
pinned
right there. So they're done for the turn in a pinned condition, having been defeated. Now, we know now what the, in this case, the Germans have in this particular hex. So we'll, space, and we know there are 4. So we can plan accordingly. We know it's a very strong, we might want to avoid that. Or at least if we go in there again, bring up this guy and have 2 guys supporting, and then we're going to be rolling 3 dice.
And there's some tactics shits that might help. There's some commanders that might help.
And artillery.
Yep.
Artillery is placed at the beginning of the game, but you don't know the effect of the artillery until you make the attack.
Right.
So if you'd attack this space here, where you had 2 artillery, which is maximum, they had a 2 strength, but 1 artillery said -1 combat die, so he's down to 1. And the other one said -1 combat die. That was great artillery.
Yeah.
So it would have actually been a 0, and they could have walked in.
Well, they still have to
Well,
roll.
they still have, so that's the cool thing
They still
is,
have to
even
roll.
though the enemy in this case has
That's true.
0 dice, you still have to roll, because if you happen to roll all 0s, that's a stalemate. That's a tie.
Oh,
Yep.
Gotcha. Now, I did have a question, just going back a little bit. Now, you'd said that this was the original kind of concept before in Magnificent Style. Now, that was what, with Victory Point Games?
Originally Victory Point Games and later Worthington, yes.
And that was with Alan Emmerich that you were working with
Yes.
on that. Now, was that your first game with them? Or you had a game already with them previously?
That was my
'Cause we were discussing that the
third
earlier-
game.
third
with them,
game,
yes.
okay.
oh wow.
So what were the other 2 before then? I know what one of them was. It had to be
One was
Wheatfield.
Gettysburg, the Wheatfield,
Okay, I knew that one.
right? And the second one was Dawn of the Zeds.
Oh, okay. So you'd already had Dawn of the Zeds in there before
Yeah.
that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so. Hey, you already had Dawn of the Zeds. He should have just listened to you and said, World War I, sure, whatever you want. You
Whatever
just
you
did
want,
Dawn
yeah.
of the Zeds. You know, that's funny.
I know.
Show
I
him
know.
this, Ryan.
Wes
Yeah.
is going to show them. All right.
So
Ryan's going to show them.
We are going to do not the cardboard type standees. We are doing wood standees. And this is an example of what that might look like. This is a sample I got from the factory. It's a little thicker than it would be in the final version, but it's got a front and it's also got a back. So all the artwork is on there, and that would be color coded. These are, of course, the British, and it'll be color coded for the different nationalities in the game.
It's 36 then, because there's 9 French, 9 British, 9 German, 9 American.
That's right. Now, just real quickly, I see we have a couple of you on. Just, can you hear us all well and everything? I see our mic meter is not real high. So I just want to make sure everybody can maybe give me a thumb up or let me know. Can you hear us? Everything good? Got the explanation. If you have any questions, you can put them into the, if you're on YouTube, I believe you can put them right in the chat and we can answer any questions you might have about the game or any questions you might have for Herman. There's a couple of you here. Did you have any questions, Wes, you want to ask Herman about the game or about anything in particular?
No, because at this point I know most of the answers.
Well, they don't know all the answers.
I know.
So-
Wes may have played it more than I have.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yes.
The actual prototype, perhaps. You have six scenarios.
I was just going to
I
mention that.
shouldn't jump
Yes.
7. Tell us about the 6 scenarios.
Yes, we don't have 7 yet.
I know.
Very close to getting 7. So there are 6 scenarios in the game. Each of the scenarios plays basically the same way, but each also has different goals. So no 2 scenarios are the same. We have, for example, Wipers, which has gas in it. We have Passchendaele, which has mud tiles that you're going to have to put out, and you're going to have to traverse the mud. We have the Lost Battalion, where you don't actually even take the enemy trenches. You have to advance through the woods and rescue the Lost Battalion. What else do I have? I have Verdun, which is a 2-phase scenario. Once you play as the Germans attacking the French and doing as the best you can, and then you play as the French counterattacking the Germans, and again trying to do the best you can.
The Somme.
And then finally the Somme, which has 4 games in it. It's basically a mini campaign where you play each of the 4 scenarios. You try to accumulate the best score you can. Each of the 4 games is a different setup and different terrain. And the one caveat is you lose the campaign if you don't take at least 1 enemy trench hex. I keep saying hex.
I know it's tempting.
And each enemy space. You have to get at least 1 guy successfully into the enemy trench in each of those games to continue on the campaign. If you don't do that, it stops and you have to restart.
Now, there's a possibility of a 7th campaign. Did we already say that one?
7th scenario.
Or 7th scenario, rather.
Yes. So
and according to this, we are $1,022 away from that.
Whoa, okay.
So not very far away
I
from
better
that.
get to work then. Huh? So we put out a little poll to find out what everybody wanted as the 7th scenario, and I believe Bellow Wood has it won already?
Yes, it won.
So we're going to have the Devil Dogs at Bellow Wood, the U.S. Marines attacking the Germans in Bellow Wood. I will figure out exactly how we're going to handle that and how we're going to make it unique, but it will be unique.
Yeah, we just came from dinner, and it was fun discussing all the possibilities that you had and about how to make this one quite different and represent these Marines, American Marines.
And I mean, this has done really well so far. I mean, as I said, we are close to 34,451 backers. Actual number of games, over 470 something at this point. So, I mean, we can pretty much, I think, assuredly say that this is not the end of this game, that we will have eventually some expansions to this game, some additional scenarios to this game.
We're hoping it'll do well enough that we can now extend into the Italians and the Austrians and the Canadians and the Australians and the Russians and Turkish. And yes, we can go on and on.
Serbs?
Hey, I know another thing, Ryan, and you can explain it a little more, but we also have a concurrent social media kind of contest going, a stretch goal, where we're going to make plastic inserts for the box to hold these pieces and stuff. But we need 150 shares, and we're only right at 40 last time I saw. So we still need 110. And how do people share exactly? What do they have to do for it to count?
Okay, if you go to the backer page for A Forlorn Hope, all the way at the top of the page, I'm looking at it myself just to make sure I have this right. It says, next unlocks custom molded plastic insert. You can actually just click on that, the custom molded plastic insert. It will bring up a page. And then at the bottom of the page, you'll say, share on Facebook with an exclamation mark. Click on that. It will open up another page and allow you to share on Facebook. And then it will count as
towards that 150. Because we really want to, this game is going to be so deluxed out right now. It's already tricked out really nicely. And this would be like the final physical thing in place, I think, to make this like just one of the really game you'll drool after.
Yeah, I mean, we can go over real quickly. I mean, we had already started with a, top-notch box and top-notch materials, thick counters, all that kind of good stuff. But over the course of the campaign, we actually were able to add black core cards with a linen finish. We were able to add dual layer, as we said, with the hip boards, dual layer hip boards. We were able to add more upgraded dice. So from the cheaper plastic to a higher quality acrylic die. We were going to
VP
add
marker?
a VP marker instead of just a standard pawn. We're going to upgrade that to a custom meeple with some custom art. Thinking probably Big Bertha for that. I know I'm forgetting things, but we have the. You just said one of the things.
Insert.
Well, the box insert not quite yet. The scenario not quite yet, but that's coming really, really soon. Hopefully, if we can get the last $1,000, and if we can get the 150, I got it right here. Extra large counters. We went up to the 1 1/4 inch counters, so some big counters instead of some nice size counters for these. Draw bags, having draw bags for both your tactics chits and for your shell craters. And we're going to have them, the insignia of what we're using to represent tactics and shell craters will be on the bag. So they'll be custom. A linen texture box, a linen texture board. That is it so far.
Yeah, and those shell craters we hadn't even told them about. When you do have barrages come upon your troops and stuff, it'll leave shell craters, which are a little harder to pass. Or if you end up in a shell crater, it's harder to get out of it and get moving again. But that's just another little thing about the game.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But I'm excited, and I cannot wait to have this box on my shelf. I promised to open.
And we did double check to make sure that the box we picked would fit on your shelf.
Yes,
That's going to be too big. It's going to be thick. Don't get me wrong. It's
yeah.
going to be a thick box, but it's definitely will fit on your Calyx shelf, and you can display it nice and proudly, and then pull it out and play. And it's a quick game to play. You can play it in how long at this point?
If I'm playing at solitaire, I could probably do it 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
First time playing through, maybe more like a 90-minute, but once you learn how to play it, you're looking at 45
And also,
to an
we
hour.
have, I don't know, we saw this before, but we're going to have all beautiful handmade art by Tawa and Rebecca.
Yep.
It's really a good looking package.
Yep. We're very happy to have both of them working on the game, and they've been doing some fantastic work on the artwork and the graphic design for the game, and we're still doing that at this point. Still play testing a little bit here and there. I mean, we played a couple times today and saw a couple things we didn't like, a couple things that we thought we might need to change to just make it easier and better for you. Tiny little details, but we're trying to make the best possible game for you, and really show off what Warfrat games can do. And this is the first game. The second game that we have signed is Wes's game, Urgent Commands, The Battle of the Bulge, which
Very urgent command.
which is very urgent.
command.
And that's a simultaneous quick play Battle of the Bulge, very different than anything you've ever done before. But that will be the next game out. We're not even going to really focus on that much now. That's going to be really after we get this game out, then we'll be starting to advertise that and starting to get the crowdfunding ready for that and everything at that point. We are testing that right now, and we'll eventually have to get an artist and everything for that. But we have some other plans for some other games down the road. I don't know if I told you before, but I got the rights back to the 3 games that Dave Shaw and myself. Dave is actually right here. He can say hello. Say hello, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
I knew he was going to say
Dave and I's games, Brave Little Belgium, White Eagle Defiant, and John Overpod. We have the rights to all 3 of those games back. And so we're thinking about making some deluxe versions of those, probably starting with the Brave Little Belgium, because that is the most popular of the 3 at some point. And we have some other things that we're working on. I got a very, very weird, what did I call it? Cyberpunk auction game that I'm working on.
Okay.
So this weird stuff.
Yep.
That
You
I'm
told me
working
the
on.
concept, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah, that was a wild.
It was pretty wild. It was out there.
And I'm also working on a game on the Churchill Club,
Right.
Yeah.
which were
World War
resistance members in Denmark in World War II.
So game themes that you've never seen from another company.
That's true. That's true. We definitely
That
are
will be a
that.
hallmark. And if you do good, please spread the word.
Yep.
Make this really go over the top, so Herman will do another game with us. That would be too cool, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Sounds good to me.
Any questions pop up? I
No,
can't
not
see
a lot
from
of
here.
questions
Yep.
tonight. We did have more of the day, but I appreciate you guys all being here. We don't want to keep you too late tonight. I know people probably want to, eventually, Herman's about ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
We
Um,
gotta
a
go
long
play
day.
a game. Let's go play a game.
Yeah, I think you and I are probably ready to go play a game.
Mhm. Don't
Maybe
tell Herman, but we'll gang up on him in the game.
That's right.
So thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it, and we will see you again sometime soon.
And we are in Charlottesville at PresCon right now, and we'll be here through Saturday night. So if you are in driving range, come on up and see us.
Yep. We have the demo of Forlorn Hope. We have a bunch of used games for sale. We have games from Legion, from Fortress, from Blue Panther, from Relative Range, from I know I'm missing one, BMG. I even got some metal coins from Vsauce for their Swords and Sail game that we're selling as well. So we have quite a few things that we are currently selling. So come on out and see us right in the vendor area, and everyone say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
How did that go? Was anybody there?